lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, we're going to be talking about all-inclusive venues. What are they, and could they be the right fit for you? There is a lot of general hype that surrounds the concept of all-inclusive venues, and there tends to be this idea of like, is it good? Is it bad? Is it the right move? Is it the wrong move? Now, there isn't necessarily a right or wrong answer for everybody that will be watching this video, but there might be a right answer for you. And we just so happen to have an all-inclusive venue that is sponsoring today's venue from my old stomping grounds in Murrieta, California, and that is Hawk Ranch. It is this gorgeous event venue located right near the Temecula-Murrieta border, which is literally right exactly where I used to live. But we're going to talk about why they're so amazing in just a little bit. First of all, let's establish, what is an all-inclusive venue? Oh, so without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. Oops. So according to Zola, an all-inclusive wedding venue provides essential services, thus reducing your need to vet and book wedding vendors, which is like a really great simple way of putting that. All-inclusive simply means that it's going to include more than someplace that doesn't. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to include all, which kind of can be a little bit confusing for some people because the term all is in there and it doesn't necessarily cover all. But there are a couple of general things that we can operate off of to give you like a standard to go off of. Good. This is good. First and foremost, they're going to have at least a reception space, if not a ceremony and a reception space. They're going to offer catering and all of the rentals that come along with that, including plates, utensils, glassware, all the servingware, etc. And they will most likely offer a drink service as well. So when you were looking at all-inclusive, it typically means food, beverage, and literally the building and rentals. So chairs you're sitting at, tables you're sitting at, the tablecloth that's going over them. It really does kind of eliminate, all right, hold on real quick. It eliminates caterer, rental company, bartender, kind of is what's typically included in an all-inclusive. I'm gonna try really hard not to use finger quotes for this entire video. That's usually what you'll see in these offerings, is those few vendors will be knocked off of your list, which makes it a lot more convenient. Now, another step that some all-inclusive venues take is they will then offer a preferred vendors list, which is a list of vendors that they prefer. Some, however, take it to that next level of being truly all-inclusive, where they will offer photography through one of their in-house photographers, and florals, and DJ, and dessert company, where it is truly a turnkey property, you know, like where you move in and all the furniture's already there. It's like that, but for your wedding day, where you don't have to make a lot of choices and the job is simply done for you. While others that will use the all-inclusive moniker and or label may not have all those offerings, but they will most certainly have a list of vendors that they will recommend or point you towards that they've worked with in the past, that understand their grounds, understand how they operate, and will probably fall relatively within your budget as well. If the venue fits your budget, these vendors will as well. Now, as of course I'm sharing all this out loud, inherently one of the biggest perks of going with an all-inclusive venue, because extremely apparent right off the bat, it's a lot less work. Having a caterer figured out for you, rental company, barware, everything on that list simply done for you, and all you have to do is pick out what meals you would like to have served, takes a ton of guesswork and a ton of time out of doing this. One thing I talk about all the time in these videos is you either spend the money or you spend the time, right? You either spend the money just to have it done for you, take my card, make it happen, or you spend the time researching, doing the back and forth, and doing a cost comparison of trying to figure out, you know, is this caterer worth it? Should I go with the food truck? Should I go with this person? Should I go with drop catering? That takes a ton of time to do that comparison. If you have the room in your budget and can make all-inclusive work, it is honestly a night and day experience working with something like that versus doing more of a backyard style wedding or DIY or putting a lot of stuff together. Now, it's not to shame anyone who's doing backyard style or DIY. It's simply just going to be a different style of experience, right? So like I said at the top of the video, there's not going to be a right or wrong answer. There's just going to be the right answer for you. So now that we've established kind of what an all-inclusive venue is, let's talk about some of my favorite perks of working with an all-inclusive venue. Number one, we've already kind of touched on this. It's stress-free. Like, it takes so much mental work out of this. If you've been planning for any portion of time, you know that the mental load that you've just unknowingly taken on planning one of the biggest events of your life is kind of a lot and can feel pretty stressful. So to have just a one and done, sign the check, pass it off type of feeling, at least for a general category, to have catering, rentals, drinks, service staff all included into one beautiful package, that can be night and day for those who are experiencing a lot of other things going on in their lives. Maybe you have a full-time job, maybe your fiance does as well, maybe you're going to school, maybe you've got family stuff on top of it. The ability of using an all-inclusive venue is a completely different experience than DIYing and building it from scratch. And I've already said this too, but inherently what goes hand in hand with saving stress is saving time as well. You are not spending time researching all of these different vendors. You can have them simply picked out for you, ready to go, which takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. But one of the unintended benefits of working with an all-inclusive venue is you get a well-oiled machine. Sometimes one of the biggest problems of working not all-inclusive venues for me as a wedding planner is having to be the oil of a machine that's not well oiled. And it's fine. There's a reason I do what I do, and we're absolutely obsessed with it. Zero complaints on my end, but there is a distinctive difference for me working an all-inclusive venue versus working something that like where the vendors have been brought together for the first time. Maybe this is their first time working with one another. It's like you and your favorite coworkers, right? You know how you guys will work a shift together. You've done this before. This is not your first rodeo. It ain't your first barbecue. You've walked this park walk before. You know what you're doing. And that's the experience that you get when you are working with an all-inclusive venue. And of course, it's going to be different when you're opting for an amalgamation of different vendors that have not had this experience of working together before. So you are almost guaranteed to get a more seamless day when you are opting with coworkers who know each other. And that's not to say, again, that the other option is not great. I had a DIY wedding. I put it together myself. Most of what we do is this end of things. So it's not that it's impossible. That's why I recognize the importance of what I do as a job, though, because I'm the oil that helps that machine run. Someone's got to be communicating and making sure everyone's going in a forward motion over here. But you simply take the guesswork out of doing it with an all-inclusive venue. Another huge benefit of going with an all-inclusive venue is adding on additional services. And this is personally where I think Hawk Ranch shines. They actually give you the benefit of both worlds. You can go as simple as renting out the space and bringing in your own vendors for a lot of different categories, or you can go so much more all-inclusive, which having that variety and having that ability is very rare in the wedding world. Usually you only get one or the other. You don't get both. So I'm actually going to read off what their offerings are for their all-inclusive wedding package because I simply don't want to forget anything, and they have so many offerings, so many additional services that you could be adding on top of just the venue itself that they have available and ready to go, so you can truly customize it both for your financial and your personal needs. If you just want a one-and-done experience, Hawk Ranch has an answer for you. If you want to piecemeal together all of the different vendors, Hawk Ranch has a package for you. So in their all-inclusive, they offer the ceremony site, reception site, tables and chairs, dressing rooms, plenty of parking attendants, and security. You guys, that is huge. That is huge. Parking attendants, especially from like a DIY perspective. Do you know the amount of hot water we've gotten into because people don't know how to park sometimes? If there literally aren't lines painted on the ground. So I know it's such a simple thing, but as a wedding planner, I'm like, I love parking attendants. Venue use time for 6 hours. So from the beginning of your event to the end of your event is 6 hours. It's a very common package. A floral package, dishware, full service event planning and design. Are you kidding me? Cake and dessert, buffet style dinner, linens, bartender, DJ and MC, uplights, and efficient. You can literally have a wedding in a box simply handed to you, ready to go. So if you are in the Southern California area, I highly recommend checking out Hawk Ranch. I'm super excited about this one. Going through some of these photos and some of this footage, like, y'all, this is a gorgeous experience for both you and for your guests, and a place where anybody would be absolutely thrilled to get married. And what I love in addition to that is they also have the DIY option, where you simply rent out the space and then pick and choose the add-ons that you would like to have. Which brings us to the fifth benefit of working with an all-inclusive venue is you still have the ability to customize. You still have the ability to come up with a menu that you enjoy, with a color palette that you enjoy, your florals, your gown, your attire, your stationery. Oftentimes there is this misconception that going with an all-inclusive venue means that you will not be able to personalize or customize anything at all whatsoever. You are getting a cookie cutter wedding, much like the benefit of me describing what Hawk Ranch is. It's like a wedding in a box. But it doesn't take away from your ability to customize. It doesn't take away your ability to customize what you want for your wedding. You will still have a very individualized event while maintaining a much easier planning process when going with an all-inclusive location. Now, all-inclusive may not be the right answer for everybody, but it's definitely going to be the right answer for some of you. So if you guys are any of my local homies back from my hometown in Southern California and are interested in checking out Hawk Ranch, I highly recommend that you check them out. I will leave them linked down in the description box for you to take a look at. Hawk Ranch, thank you so much for sponsoring this week's video. It really is an honor to be able to partner with such a small company and to be able to bring them to you guys and chat with you about them, especially when it's from like where I lived for years and years. I'm super excited. So thank you, Hawk Ranch, for sponsoring this week's video. How about you guys? What are you doing for your venue? Because I know all-inclusive is the perfect solution for a lot of people, but it doesn't necessarily work for others. Let me know what you guys are doing in the comments down below. As always, I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing what your plan is. And honestly, if you want to brag on your venue, tell me why you picked it. Like, what was it about this location? What sold you on your venue? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, go ahead and jump on down there, hit that like button, and subscribe to this channel. Please go down there, hit subscribe. Do it right now. What's holding you back? Nothing at all. For more tips and tricks for the modern day bride. And until next week, bye guys.